Hi, and welcome to today's mini lecture for April 7th. I wanted to review the project. The rubrics are posted on Canvas along with some screenshots of the dashboards that I'm sure everyone's interested in. They ranged anywhere from what I would call outstanding down to what I would call basic. So if you go into the project module, you should see those items down at the bottom. See the rubrics if you're interested in how I graded. Sometimes the canned comments on the rubrics will come through on Canvas grading, so if that helps make any sense of any comments you saw. The dashboard file is here if you care to see what other people did on their dashboard. They're in no particular order necessarily. And then I've also assigned the project peer review, which is the remaining 10% of the project. So the revenue builds were really fun to see. People used a lot of creativity and in almost every situation had their models moving directionally in the right way with plausible results. So really enjoyed that and hope you enjoyed the creativity. We won't do any more of that with 3453, but the energy students will come back and spend some more time on revenue build. So only about a third of the teams actually balanced their models. And my guess is not every person on every team helped to try to balance the model. And so that's a pretty low percentage when you think about it. So I think we need to spend a little bit more time on that. So there will be some model balancing questions on test 5. And there will be some practice problems out no later than April the 8th on that. I didn't really see very many charts on the dashboard, so probably start assigning a chart as homework and kind of do one at a time on those. Charts are an art more than a science in Excel, and so a little bit of practice will be good. So one thing that was really a shortcoming on my part was the KPIs. Most people misinterpreted what I was trying to say on the KPIs, and so we'll spend some more time on that, as I promised most of you in the presentations. And also would like to enhance my instructions for next semester, so I'll get to that in a bit. As I mentioned, peer evaluations are the only remaining project grades, so please fill them out. I think they're due by Friday night at midnight. Several people have asked me about participation points. It looks like at this point there are about 4 ways to get participation points in the remaining time we have. You're aware of the online collaboration tips and tricks and the Mac users tips and tricks discussions on Canvas. I've also put up a project design discussion that I alluded to earlier. If you go to discussions, you'll see the 2 that you've seen before. And then there's a project design. And what I'm looking for here, looks like a couple people have already commented. What I'm looking for here, since I have 6 dozen people who have just completed this project and probably have some opinions about it, I would really love to get your input. And so I thought we'd try this as an online discussion. I've not really done one of these, kind of throwing this out there to see how it goes, but I can't think of any more direct way to measure participation and, in fact, to help your future Sooners as they come through this class. Now let's talk about Test 5. I'm going to ask you to sign the Academic Integrity Pledge, and I have some other plans to make cheating difficult on this exam. Wouldn't be surprised if every person gets a different exam. It'll be a 75-minute limit that you must complete it on Tuesday, but you have any time between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. to do so. It will be open book and basically 3 items on here. Balancing models, following up on my comments from above, making some charts, and calculating and using some KPIs. For the normal class, we'll focus on the DuPont analysis and the cash conversion cycle. And for the energy students, we'll focus on getting to revenue from production and market prices. We'll look at refining margins, which are also known as crack spreads, and per barrel metrics, lifting costs and G&A per barrel and so forth. And finally, any material that will be fair game for the test will be available to you by 6 p.m. on Thursday, April 9th. I've had some difficulties today getting videos to work correctly, So I'm running a little bit behind, but if I can't get it out by Thursday evening, it will not be on the exam. Thank you and stay tuned.